Hello everyone. Now we shall discuss the topic international trade and its types. International trade is nothing but the flow of goods and services and capital between countries. So goods, services and capital move on between countries, which we call it as international trade. Now we'll see the history of international trade. Actually, the international trade has a rich history starting from the barter system. Actually, barter system is nothing but goods and goods were interchanged. So barter system was the first starting of international trade. Then it was replaced by mercantilism in the 16th and 17th centuries. Then it was later on it shifted from mercantilism to the liberalization in the 18th century. Now we'll move on to the topic types of international trade, where we have three types. One is the export trade, import trade, and the third one is the entry port trade. Meaning of international trade. International trade is the exchange of capital, goods and services across international borders or territories. In most countries, such trade represents a significant share of gross domestic product, that is GDP. One of the types of international trade is import trade. The meaning of import trade is, it is referred to as goods and services purchased into one nation from the another nation. The concept is, countries are most likely to import goods or services that their domestic industries cannot produce efficiently or cheaply as the exporting country. For example, India imports 82% of its crude oil requirements from the countries like UAE and Venezuela. This is because these countries possess massive oil fields and are quite competent in exploring, processing and transporting oil at an economical rate. The second type is export trade. The meaning is, export trade involves goods or services produced in one country and that is sold into another country. The seller is called as the exporter. The buyer of the goods is called as an importer. An example of export trade is, India exports inorganic chemicals, oilseeds, raw ores, iron and steel, plastics and dairy products to China. The third type of international trade is entry port trade, whereby goods are imported into a country and it is re-exported without distribution within the importing country. An example of entry port trade is, if India imports rubber from Thailand, processes it and re-exports it to another country like Japan, it would be referred to as entry port trade. So long we have discussed how international trade has evolved and what are the types of international trade by seeing a few examples. Now students can explore this topic by looking into a few more examples and how this trade is happening between the countries. One of the organizations that helps in the facilitating the international trade is the International Trade Organization. So you can explore more into this topic by how this international countries, these foreign countries are trading between them. What is happening about this international trade, you can move on and browse through the internet.